Hello everybody and welcome to episode 21 of Stoneblock. I did a live stream yesterday and we did a few things with applied logistics and also crafted a bunch of machines from the Mekanism mod. And with applied logistics, we get this Singularities in the matter condenser, which requires 256,000. We're actually gonna see it just happen very soon. But you take those Singularities and then some ender dust, and let's just wait for this one to be made, which is gonna be a moment. But can I just like scroll wheel one out? No, let's just take all of these out. You toss one of those next to, first of all, in this pack, a creeper statue because you can. And then you explode it with some ender dust, and you get two quantum entangled singularities, and they're basically pairs of two. And you can then take, for example, I have one in here, in the back, in this quantum ring, which is a way to transfer the applied energistics like channels over cross-dimensionally, which basically means that you link two of them with, you name them the same. And I'm not going to go in another dimension right now, but we're just for testing purposes, I'm going to show you how you set this up. So imagine this would be another dimension. You take 8 of these rings and you make it like so, and then you put in the quantum link chamber in the middle. You toss this in, and then you need to give this power. So you need, for example, an energy acceptor, which we have here. And then we can add that over there and add a flux point, I believe. I don't know if it connects to anything on the side. It might connect only to there. There we go. And add a flux point, and we should get this power. There it goes. It is connected. And if we need channels, for example, if I grab a cable, just any sort of cable, and then a terminal, which apparently is in my offhand or the trash slot, but an ME terminal allows me to access my ME system completely wirelessly. So if we would want to, we could use these quantum rings to transfer it over the base to different spots if we needed to, but we don't really need to because we can just run. I don't know why I wanted to vein mine the friggin' flux point. Well, I need to fix some grass now, but the singularities are just made with a matter condenser with a 64K ME storage component, and then you insert any sort of item. So I'm just doing four cobblestone generators, which we don't really need anymore. So I'm just gonna pack those up, and that should be good. Okay, let me fix the grass, and then we'll continue with the episode. Okay, grass has been fixed, and let me give you a chicken update on what I bred in between episodes and kind of half on stream because we were just doing this. And hello, there's always evolved enderman in here. I just need to do a mega torch. Just put you here in the middle because it doesn't really matter. There you go. Or I could even, you know what? I think we have space up here, right? We don't. But we have space like in the corners. So we can just take this and put you there. And that should cover everything in this compact machine anyway. But I have 3 awakened draconium chickens, and I've been AFK overnight, and we have a bit of awakened draconium. 3,000 ingots of it. That's insane. And how was draconium doing? 167,000, and we even have almost 100,000 of dust to smelt if we need to. That's really cool. I also have the manual ardite cobalt elementium, mana steel, terra steel, elementium. So we have, if we look at steel, we have 5,000 terra steel, so we can use terra steel for stuff if we want to. But I'm not really using anything from Botania. Oh, I also made this flying ring because apparently the recipe was changed, and you can make this now with just 2 watermills and an angel ring. And this doesn't require, GP to run, which is really nice. And we can also upgrade this with 2 elytras, and it makes it super fast, I think. So I might try making another one and seeing if it's too fast or if it's fast enough for me to use. Then I also have a stone burnt chicken. I have redstone crystal chicken, lunar reactive dust, pig iron, nether warts I had before, and the rest I think we have had before here. I made I think it's iridium somewhere, possibly somewhere in here. Don't know really where, but we have that. We have all of the reactor things if we ever want to do a reactor. I think I put iridium here. Yeah, there's iridium. And we're currently still breeding a couple of chickens. Let's just go take a look. as soon as it loads. Ah, we're here. Okay. We're breeding the Moonstone Chickens. They're all 10-10-10. And the Mana Infused, which we don't really need, so we don't even need to put it in. Night Slime, which we have in the drawers, so we can do that. Plutonium, we also don't have in the drawers. And like plutonium, what are you even used for? I think you can just make Smog's nuclear fuel. And that you can make with plutonium, or you can just make it with refined uranium and plutonium. Okay, so you can use plutonium for that. And I don't think we're ever gonna need those. Possibly, maybe it's for maybe we're gonna need that for Project T, but I'm not sure. For the the tablet. That is just actually no. The recipe for this is HDPE sheets from Mekanism, which is the pellets, which we need oxygen and liquid ethylene. We're gonna have to set up a whole system for that anyway. And then Ender Stars, Infinity Ingots, Gaia Spirits, Neutronium Ingots, and Energy Condensers. Yeah, that's quantum storage using. And a table requires also HDPE sheets, Dark Matter, Evil Infused, Night Slime, which we can farm, Pixie Dust we can get from Botania. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so for today, we're gonna try and do some mechanism. So I'm gonna have to grab this crate and I'm gonna go probably over here on this side, and we can just set up different machines over here in like the center of this, like that, and possibly have like a space in between each machine because we're gonna need importers and exporters to make things. Basically, I want to set up a way of, I have the enriching factories and the infusing factories, and we need to make basically the compressed redstone, the compressed diamonds, compressed obsidian. So I'm going to set up things to do all of that, and we can possibly dedicate different sides of things to do different things, because I think we can just compress the redstone and then make the whatchamacallit, the atomic alloy, I believe it's called. We can make the is it not alloy? Let's do add mechanism. Or maybe I don't have, no, it is here. It's enriched alloy, and we need to make reinforced alloy and atomic alloy. That's the one. So, and then compressed redstone, compressed diamond, so forth. So let me start setting up some machines for things that we need, because the obsidian takes a bit more processing. So we might set one side fully for obsidian, and the other two can be the diamond and the redstone and making all of the other alloys. Firstly, before I explain this, I have to show you that I ran 4 different cables down from the ME storage system, or from my controller. You can see them running over here. I didn't want to use the network. There's the wireless things, these guys, wireless connectors. But if I wanted to run one over to there, it would use 2,500 RF a tick. Not that we're struggling for RF with our solar panels, but it's just pointless to use those when I could just run a cable. And I don't think these cables are that laggy, to be honest. So I think we should be good. And basically, the cables go down here, the bottom one split over here, and the top one split over here. So we're gonna have basically 32 channels on each of these 2 sides, basically. So these 32 channels, and then this other side 32, and each basically corner block has 32 channels. And we can even set up some machines in here if we need to. I don't know how we're gonna set them up yet, but for the time being, I set up a way of making enriched alloy, a way of making the, if I can catch it, the reinforced alloy, and they're both set on 2048. So this should stop any moment now. That has stopped exporting. It still has the full like 7 of enriched alloys inside because I have the fast importers, and this is also probably gonna stop doing its thing. So it's gonna make a bit over the amount, but that's fine. So basically we import or we export redstone into here to make compressed redstone, and then we just extract it out of these machines into here. So all the time this is filled with compressed redstone. And here we're exporting iron ingots and importing the whatchamacallit, the enriched alloys. And the same thing over here, we export the enriched alloy to make it into the reinforced alloy with diamonds, which are compressed over here. So we could have, I think, just exported diamonds as well into here, because I think you can do, for example, if you look for a recipe or uses for this, and then do here, we need either crushed diamonds, compressed diamonds. Okay, so we would still need to crush diamonds. So it's better to just compress it and have it all done with Mekanism. And I have it facaded over here like so. So we just need to grab a painting machine, which I think I have an extra one somewhere. There we go, painting machine, and we can grab some facades like that. I just need 2 of those, and then some sheet metal, which I have over here that I didn't grab into my inventory slot, but that's okay. So we can just grab 2 of those to cover up these conduits, and the rest we can just cover with sheet metal. And that should be all nice and dandy. And I even can move the flux point over so we don't use an extra conduit, but that is okay. And they accept power from the energy conduits, so that is lovely, which meaning that we can move this, because this conduit is not necessary, and we can just put, for example, take that off and put a flux point right in there to give it power. Wonderful. So that is all set up. And I'm going to look at what we need to do next for the ore processing out of these machines, because these are just crafting components that we need, the reinforced alloy and atomic alloy, just to have in the system. So that is all good, nice and dandy, all finished. Okay, I have the setup for making the gas that we need to process the ores to get the things done, basically. So let me explain this. Firstly, we need the rotary condensator. You need to fill this with water, and it only works if you fill it from the side, not the bottom. That doesn't really work. So then, I don't think this requires power as well. No, it does require power. And it turns water. You change this to deconcentrating and not concentrating to make water vapor, because you can also turn water vapor, I assume, back into water. And then you extract it out of the side, and it goes into another machine, which we're going to explain. But then you take more water, and you separate it with an electrolytic separator, and we can also just set this to dumping, because this makes hydrogen and oxygen. It's H2O, being the water. And then you can just select dumping the excess of this. So basically, when we can have it on dumping excess, just so you can see that hydrogen is being made. And then that goes into the chemical infuser, which takes the oxygen. I don't know why this is transferring super slowly, because this is already filled up. And this is an ultimate pressurized tube. And this is making the oxygen. This is making it slow, which is weird. Okay, so we're only making it as fast as this sulfur is being made. And plus, I don't know where currently the gas is going. It could be just filling up the pipes, or it maybe doesn't have a stopping thing, but like we have 81,000 sulfur. Let's just, we're gonna turn this off for the moment, just because I don't know if it's wasting the rest of the sulfur, or if we need more sulfur chickens perhaps, or we could just set up a recipe with crushing blaze rods to get sulfur. But yeah, basically it makes hold up, wrong, this incorrect, this go. We export sulfur to make sulfuric acid, and then the sulfuric acid goes into the chemical infuser, which takes the oxygen and the sulfuric acid and makes sulfur trioxide. And then the trioxide and the water vapor is made into sulfuric acid. Okay, no, sorry. This makes just sulfur gas. And then this makes sulfur trioxide. Yeah, that's the one. And then the trioxide goes into with water vapor, and the sulfuric trioxide makes the sulfuric acid. Hopefully that was kind of explained. But they have a really good, on the wiki, explanation of how you need to do this. I was just figuring out the machines, and because they have access ports in different slots, and it's super weird and all that, and it's, yeah, that's the case. So now I think I'm gonna get into some gas storage for our AE, gas storage. We can make a bunch of these like top tier ones as well. The 4K, which is just, it's dandelion yellow, which we have. Okay, so it's just yellow and then just processors. Okay, we can just set up a system to make me a 4000 gas storage. Because I think the only gas we're really going to need to store is this, because we take the sulfuric acid, and then we're going to have to export it to some machines, to the chemical dissolution chambers, to make the ore slurry. And we can also set up one chemical dissolution chamber for each ore, I think, because then it's going to make the slurry. The slurry is going to go make, we need to wash that slurry with water in a chemical washer. And then we get clean ore slurry, and then we put it in a chemical crystallizer to get crystals, and then they're put in a tier 3 setup, which is, which we take I believe, we might need hydrogen chloride anyway. But Yeah, I'm gonna see what more we need, but we're gonna get to that first. So let me get some patterns going for the gas storage, and we're gonna add that to our drives, or maybe add a few more drives. I mean, we can just replace like one of the disks with gas storage probably, and we should be good. So yeah, let me get on that, and I will I'll be back once I have it ready. Okay, I made the gas storage cell, so we can toss that in here. I already took one of the 64Ks out, and I also made some gas components, they're really simple. You just take yellow and then combine it with, for example, the level emitter is just a level emitter with yellow to get gas level emitters, which is really nice. So I think, well, I'm not sure if this, because this is making, what is this making? Oxygen, and the thing makes sulfuric trioxide. So I don't know if these cables hold quite a bit, but if we break one of these cables, and then let's say we enable this with sulfur again. Sulfur. Because I could add some more sulfur chickens because I have more space. But if we add sulfur to this should start making us this sulfuric trioxide. And I'm just gonna wait for this to fill up. Okay, it makes 100 per sulfur. So that's quite a bit of sulfur, to be honest. But if that's the case, we need to turn this off if these cables eat up all of the sulfur. Because if it's gonna just keep making it until I run out of sulfur, then that's kind of a bad thing because we won't have it when we need it. So let me just wait. We can speedy up this machine. There you go. Are you a bit done? Okay, you're almost done. Okay, so the sulfuric dioxide, this should fill up with, because like this fills up with oxygen once the cable fills up with oxygen. And I don't know how much goes into the, oh, there's the cable goes. Okay, now we're filling up. So I assume it's just the cables taking quite a bit of the sulfuric trioxide. It shouldn't just fill up. So if we do this, okay, so the cable is now full. This is making, like, see, this is making sulfuric dioxide. I don't know if it was just, okay, can I do this now? Are you done? Okay, so it's not making more. It was just filling up the cables. Okay, that is one thing cleared up. So we don't really need to control this in any sort of way. All we need to do is put an import bus here for the gas, and I assume I can connect this the same way to my storage system. So like that. And we can also add a level emitter. So let's do, I assume that was the correct way to import. So let me just do this. Let's pop this off for the moment. Grab that, put a level emitter, and then we're gonna need to run the cable around. It is a very complex way to do cabling, but that's okay. That is the fluid. Why is this a fluid level emitter? It's supposed to be a gas level emitter. Is this broken? It says fluid gas level emitter. Okay. So, but this says ME fluid level emitter. Can we try a, hold up, fluid level emitter? Okay, if we try one of these, are you gonna say gas? No, it's still fluid. So please don't tell me this is broken, because I don't know how the gases work, but can we put, how can one even filter the gas? Can I get a gas bucket? Biogas, gaseous fuel. I can get a gas cell, gas pattern. I could put it in a tank, I think. So if we get grab a tank, like this ultimate tank, and if I put this over here, I assume this is gonna put in sulfuric acid. Okay. And can I then use this to filter? How does one filter the gas? Because there's gas cells, there's nothing that can do gas buckets. Biogas, gases, brine. I maybe this doesn't work with Mekanism gas. There's biogas, because if I look for gas, or let's do sulfuric acid. I mean, there's sulfuric acid pattern. Okay, let's try that. Let's do a fluid pattern. Of course, I don't have quartz glass, because why would I? And fluid pattern, and you need to be put into a fluid transposer or a fluid tank. So let's get tank. And I could be wrong, and then the sulfuric acid is a fluid, not a gas. That I could be wrong, but let's try this. Let's grab this and do, that's doing a pole, right? But this isn't. Okay, so let's do this and that. Don't know which way this gas tank has an output. Oh, we can output bottom. And we can say pull. That's not putting it in. It says a fluid tank or a fluid transposer. How does one get sulfuric acid into the fluid tank? Okay, we are at least getting sulfuric acid in the system. So that is at least fine. And I think it's fine if we use the sulfur that we're making to make the sulfuric acid, because we don't really use sulfur for anything else. I just wanted to be able to turn this off because I don't want to make it all the time. And the level emitters, I don't know, or let's change this to gas. I don't know how I can configure this because it says fluid level emitter and it's on millibuckets. So that could be a bug, because this should say ME gas level emitter. And I can't really filter the gas, nor can I stop it from making more. And this is just gonna basically make sulfuric acid until it fills up the system. I don't know. Okay, I figured out how we're gonna do this. We have currently 2 sides here, 2 sides here, and then 2 sides here. So a total of 6 sides of ore processing mechanics. So there's 7 ores. So we're gonna skip the osmium because we have a chicken anyway, and the amount of osmium we use is pretty much very little. For all of it goes into this in just crafting of the machines. My English today is bad. Okay, so the way this works, we put the sulfuric acid into the dissolution chamber, and we can do that with just an export bus with the gas, hopefully. I don't know if I can filter the gas. I'm gonna see how I can extract it, if I can put it, hold up, gas. Actually, no, crafting, I have that pattern thing, right? So what if I changed it to gas? Can I do this? It says that, can I grab a bucket? Like, how does one grab? I just want to know. How can I filter it on a terminal or anything? No, it says fluid sulfuric acid. I just have it selected. I don't know what I can do with it. Maybe a gas tank or something. I don't know. We'll see if I can filter it in any way. If not, I can just like go into creative and the sulfuric acid. There are patterns here, and I can grab these 2 through creative just so I can filter the things, because I don't know how to filter the things. And if you guys know how to filter things, let me know down in the comments if that's the case. But I assume this gas thing is very kind of experimental in AE. But yeah, basically the sulfuric acid and the ore goes into here. It makes, I have to look at what it makes. It makes ore slurry, and then you put it into a chemical washer with water, and then you make clean ore slurry. Then you put it into a chemical crystallizer, and it makes the crystals. And I think it should make 5 crystals. And then we put the crystals into an elite crushing factory. It's going to make dirty dust. Then we put the dirty dust into the enriching factory. It's going to make regular dust. And then we smelt it in the smelting factory, and then we get the ingots. So that's the process. And it's a bit wonky. So I changed the room here and I extended it over, and we're gonna just break down this, and also the ceiling is gonna change. So I need to fix all of that all around the place and change it all up so it looks uniform and nice. And I will go do that in just a moment. I wanted to show you how I got around the not having, as soon as I finish this, the not exporting too much sulfur. because we can't really filter the gas, because I don't know how to filter it in the import bus or the level emitter, I'm just level emitting here on 60,000 sulfur. It's going to emit when levels are below limits, and it's going to stop exporting this because this is active without signal. So as soon as this puts out a signal, this is going to stop exporting. So as soon as we get underneath 60,000 sulfur, which we're going down quite fast to say, and we're making this still the this guy, this sulfuric acid, and we're gonna see how much we're using. And this is making lighting updates. This guy, okay, sure. We are gonna need to light him up around. Okay, so we're gonna see if we're making enough sulfuric acid for the processing of all of these machines. And yeah, let me go get on work with changing the rooms and making all the machines that we need, because I only made one side, and I should be back once I have something to show you. So I started setting up this side, and I missed a couple of steps before when I was explaining this. We take the iron ore, it goes into here, it makes the iron slurry, then the slurry goes here, it's super fast, it makes the crystals super fast, and then it goes into the chemical injection chamber, which makes the crystals into shards using a whole bunch of salt. And apparently the gas increases the efficiency of gas using machines. So efficiency I being speed. But it uses salt like nobody's business. So for example, salt, just to process that little bit of iron ore, we used up so much salt. And we can set up an automated system to craft the salt. We can just use a crafter and just water, and it's gonna make a salt really fast. So we can hopefully set up something that makes salt faster than this uses it. If not, we can just set up a crafter back here and import salt automatically in the back of each one of these, because we have water here anyway, and we can just run a conduit over or something. Okay, so then it makes those, puts it in the purification chamber, makes another one of those, and then it goes here, it makes dirty iron dust, and then I had to expand this room a little bit, and I haven't done any of the other sides, but I had to expand a bit because we didn't have space for the smelting factory. So then the dirty dusts go into with a conduit. We can extract them out of here and insert into here as soon as we set the output of this to be on there. And then the input here on the left, we can just turn everything else off and then auto sort on. And this should have upgrades, right? And it makes the pulverized iron. Then we can take that block out, do this, output, extract, insert, and set this guy on auto sort. And you are out of power, which is okay. We can give you some power like that. That is also upgraded, and it smelts the iron. So let's see, that was 3 iron ore, made 15 iron ingots with a whole bunch of processing. So I think I'm gonna set up the rest of the machines, just set up the machines, not actually have them all coordinately hooked up or whatever. And I'm gonna see about getting something to make salt faster. And I need to expand the rooms, and I'm gonna see how it's gonna fit into here, what we're gonna do with the ending of here, because we just need to move the machines around and we're gonna see how much space we're left with. So I'm gonna also move this to probably somewhere in this room. We can just put it on the floor there or somewhere. But yeah, let me get on with some work, and I will show it to you once I have the machines moved and all set up. Okay, one side is now fully done. We don't even need these guys, like the elite crushing factories, the elite enriching factories, or the smelting factory. We don't need the elite versions. We could just take the basic ones, because the amount of stuff is bottlenecked by this. We're getting enough salt now. I decided to not export salt out of the system, and it almost used up everything. We have 28,000 left, but I have these 2 sequential fabricators working their butts off, making salt for this little chemical injection chamber, which is super slow. It uses a whole ton of salt to make one of these, to turn one of these iron crystals into the thing. I could also just pulverize this, but then you lose the process, I think, because you take one of these. Well, can I just, because that then makes one of these, that makes one of those. So the moment I get iron crystals, right? So I get, I think let's grab some more. Do I have any more ore? No, I have it in the other dimension. But can we just skip this entire process by just putting this into a Oh, you need to put it in it's in a quartz grindstone. And that I don't think can be automated. So we need the injection chamber, right? Are we not using the factory? We're not. So chemical. Wait, let's just do factory. That's gonna find it. Chemical, or we can just search for uses on this. So the chemical injection chamber. We can turn this into a basic injection factory. Okay, so it is injecting. Let's inject. There we go. Advanced injecting factory. I was wondering why that was the bottleneck. Like, how was that not a thing? So the elite one requires 2 of these. That was so weird. Okay, so I didn't find the thing. So now we can say, okay, we are gonna need to do an import on the left, output on the right, and extra is in the back, right? There we go. Salt goes in. It gets put into the thing. We can then put auto sort on. And did I lose the crystals? I might have lost the crystals. Yeah. Okay, let me go grab some more iron. Okay, now that I have the factories, we're struggling on the machine trying to import salt. Instead of just like doing a stack at a time and trying to import salt, and this is again the bottleneck. So I think I'm gonna end the episode here, but we're gonna try possibly on stream, because there's a way we can take the salt and put it in a chemical oxidizer to make gaseous brine, and then we take the gaseous brine and would put it in a rotary condensate trader and condensate it to brine, and then we can take the brine and put it in an electrolytic separator to get sodium and chlorine, and we can take the chlorine with some hydrogen, which we're basically producing here, to make the other thing, or we can just put in another thing and put in water and then destroy the oxygen and because we don't really have the space to extract the hydrogen anyway, so we can just do that, and then we can make the if I find the process again, we use this to make this, and then we use that to no, the uses for this, where is the, I was looking for uses, not the thing. And then we take the chlorine and we make hydrogen chloride, and see how fast we can make hydrogen chloride, because then we can insert that with just AE if we insert it into the system, and we should see if that is faster than inserting salt. So I'm gonna do that on stream probably. And with that, I want to thank you everybody for watching. I'm hoping you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing to see new videos, support me on Patreon if you want to give a little bit more. Also, don't forget to join my Discord and chat there. And also, I want to thank you all for almost hitting 5,000 subscribers. We're really, really close. And somebody had a really good idea of me doing like a time lapse for a thank you video, like doing a giant thank you or something. And I can put that in the back, and I can then over the top have a Q&A. So I think I'm going to do that when I get the time to do it and when we hit 5,000. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great one. Bye-bye.